What's up, everybody? We decided that we're going to do an episode without Jasmine because anytime Jasmine's not present is always a good time. So today is going to be a fun-filled day. Tell them about the guests we have.
Today
we have cousins. We have multiple cousins.
Mhm.
We have parents.
Mhm.
Ooh, parents are invited.
Friends.
And guess what? We have a special musical guest today.
Oh, musical guest.
Yeah, special musical guest today that will be joining us. And how do we pull this off? Because we know how to properly plan a podcast. Jasmine, come on already. Jokes aside, we don't have all that. It's just me and her today talking.
And so this is our sweet co-host extraordinaire.
Special co-host.
And official member of the Sispatch.
No, I'm not an official member of the Sispatch.
Yeah, I'm gonna play the intro song because it just feels right, and you get to dance with us. Ready? Welcome back to the Sispatch. My name is Bevin, and this is my special guest co-host, Thomas, the man,
the king,
the extraordinary, my husband.
Oh, that's really
give it a round of applause.
It's better than the one when I was on it.
Woo!
That was a better one.
Wah, wah, wah.
Oh, we had sound effects and everything. Did we have that in the budget?
It is now.
Please subscribe.
Please follow and subscribe. If you want more of this.
and first, word from our sponsors. We can pay for it.
Okay, so as Thomas was saying, my sister has no idea that we're recording this episode.
Yeah.
We actually just decided on it, like when we found out that she was going to Hawaii. We're like, you know what?
Forget her. We're going to do something else without her then.
We're going to have fun without her.
Yeah.
And we are just so excited that she's not here. And
I'm thrilled. She doesn't even live here. That's why I wake up every day with a smile on my face.
I mean, I'll be honest. I was streaming today and she FaceTimed me. And it was a beautiful, like, there was no filter on FaceTime. It was just like beautiful blue skies, blue pool, green palm trees. And she FaceTimed me while I was on stream. I was like, that's it.
Well, the FaceTime was fine because she wasn't in it. Right?
Mm-hmm,
right?
Mm-hmm.
If it was her, then I would have been like, I'm not missing nothing. I know. But because we got to see, Hawaii in its finest, I was like, I'm sad because we were just there.
I know. I'm so sad.
Last year?
Yeah,
we were there last year. That was the first time we ever went. That was my first time ever, and I enjoyed it. And I want to go back. I just want to go in debt and go back. It's plain and simple. Who cares about money? Who cares about bills? Who cares about responsibility?
We're just going to Hawaii.
I want to go to Hawaii right now. Drop everything, leave the kids here?
Yes. Drop everything now.
Dun, 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 dun.
It's a Taylor Swift song.
Oh.
I don't have anything to drink.
We need to set a rule right here, right now.
What? What's
the rule? You do anything Taylor Swift from this point on, I just get up and walk away.
How is that a win for me, though? Where's my...
There wasn't a win. Oh. It was, we dropped the conversation. The podcast is over.
That's it.
We're done.
It's literally a lose-lose for me.
Right?
It's going to be very hard, but I'll try my best.
Well, at least we don't live in Florida.
Take a drink. Florida. Okay, so we have a little bit. It's going to be a little bit of a different flow this week because obviously he is not a sister, but he is my better half. And so the first topic we're going to discuss today is about parenting our 3 children.
It's real simple. This is a one-step process. Everybody who has kids or who's planning to have kids, send them to grandma and grandpa's house.
For all summer.
You never see them.
They literally have been at my parents' house.
See,
all summer.
Grandparents talk about how like they get the joy of having the kid, and then when they're tired of it, send it back to mom and dad. For us, it's the opposite. When we're tired of our kids, we send them back to grandma and grandpa's house.
And they're like, yes, come, we'll take them. And even sometimes when they don't want them, if one of them starts crying, they're like, oh, it's okay.
Yeah.
Just come.
Yeah. Last night, Lincoln was having a full-blown meltdown. I said, if you guys take him, I'm good with that. I'm not going to deal with that. It's not my kid. Or it is, but it's not my kid, not my problem anymore.
Okay, so for the first couple of episodes of the Sispatch, we didn't say their names. I'm okay with saying their names on the podcast. Are you saying their names on the podcast?
Larry, Curly, Mo.
Curly and Mo. That's what your dad calls them.
And the Three Stooges.
The Three Stooges. Their name. You're okay with saying their names?
Yeah.
Okay, their names from oldest to youngest: Benjamin, Benji, Oliver, Ollie, or Lincoln, Link,
Or Link.
or and Lincoln.
Oliver, Ollie, or Lincoln. Like, we just changed Oliver's name.
Which one do you want?
We're gonna just change it. Like, Oliver will switch his name up that drastically. It's not a nickname.
He probably would answer too. He wouldn't care. We're like, you know what, Ollie, we're switching your name. He's like, okay.
What?
So, I guess my first question for you is what are the different, like, if you had to describe each of them, what are their differences?
Ben, ever since Ben was born,
The pterodactyl.
no, well, yeah, he screamed like a pterodactyl. With him, he always, like, from the very first moment, was very observant, and he's still like that today.
He literally came out of the womb like
just looking at everything, and whoever talked, he would look at them and like
follow them.
And I get it. A lot of kids do that, but there was something different about his observant. Like, he was just like absorbing everything that was around him. And I get it. Like, your kid's special. No, my kid's more special. I'm sorry. That's just how I feel. I'm a parent. You want to put your picture of your kids, and I don't care about your kids. My kids are more important. I'm so rude. No, but what I loved about him, because I stayed home with him, we had like kind of discussed that, and with Ben, I could go to work and we pay for daycare because we didn't have like we didn't have anybody at the time. I was like, well, why am I going to go to work to pay for daycare when it's going to be my paycheck just goes to daycare? Like, that doesn't make sense. Why don't I just stay home with him, take care of him, and we know he's in good hands.
Yep.
So
just worked out.
Having that opportunity to basically be a stay-at-home dad, and I did it for a year.
Yep, his whole first year.
Did it for a year.
And I was at work, and he was home with the baby.
He was a
handful.
He was a handful, but at the same time,
but not in a way where it was like into everything. He was just like,
he was very peculiar what he was into.
Yeah.
Like, if he wasn't interested in doing it, he wouldn't do it. And he's still like that today, where if he's not interested, like, well, I mean, anybody's like that, right? But for him, like, he's like, it's all in or not. It's all in or not. Like, no, I'm not interested. I'm not doing it. Like,
yep.
Okay. Like, I'm not gonna
force you. You can't force him to do something. He'll literally shut down and just like not. And another thing about him too was he was the only kid of ours that was on, like, when he would go to sleep, and then when he would wake up, like, he would be up for like a couple hours, like, wanting to be entertained.
Up for 3, down for 2 or something.
It was exhausting.
So the first couple months were exhausting. Then he finally got into a rhythm. But that first kid,
we watched so many shows.
We watched a lot of shows. I can't even remember most of them anymore.
Because it wasn't like he could eat. Like, he wouldn't take his bottle or nurse and go to sleep. He'd eat and then be up and ready to look at. And he didn't want to just be played with. Like, he wanted to like watch or like look at something that was entertaining. That he would, like, his mind would be what's it called?
Stimulated.
He had to be stimulated.
And the
can't just put toys in front of him.
And the one thing I always had to do every day was, and this was when I was like way out of shape too. Like, I was not like active at all. I started going for like walks.
That's right.
At the park, and we would just be there for an hour.
Because you like to look.
And I would just take him for walks, and it chilled him out.
Yeah.
Because he was fussy. He still is. He's kind of he has an attitude today too. But overall, like, for him being our first one and like learning, like, he wasn't that bad once we kind of understood figured out like how to look for cues and whatnot, being first time parents.
He was also a Velcro baby. Like, he wanted to be held. And
he wanted to be held.
Well, at least for sleep, he wanted to be held. But during the day, he wanted to be held and like walked around and like shown everything and like talked to. It was so crazy.
Until like maybe like 6 or 7 months, when he started like kind of moving on his own, he started getting like a lot happier.
Yeah, because he can explore on his own.
But I really enjoyed it once he started like kind of crawling and walking, and then he'd take one nap a day, and it would be like 3 hours, and he would have to take a nap laying on me.
Yep.
So that was a great
Sweaty
time
boy.
because I could literally just turn the Xbox on and just play for like 3-4 hours, and he'd just be there and chilling, napping, and I didn't have to do anything.
I remember I'd come home and sometimes he would be right there.
Yeah, just chilling.
So was Ben.
That was Ben, and then we had a wonderful second child by the name
Jolly
of Oliver.
Ollie.
Oliver was the best. Oliver was the absolute best kid.
I always tell you that, like, I don't ever remember his like infancy because he was just so chill and like.
Oh, I remember it because of how chill he was.
I just remember him being happy. Like you could just lay him down. And he's just like.
You have to throw up a picture of him, like I think when he's like around a week to a month old, where he's just laying his best, and he's
just like happy. He was the happiest little kid.
He's just happy. He got right on the sleep schedule and everything. Perfect.
Slept by himself.
There's not really much to say for his childhood except like he was just chill. Like he was happy with whoever. He didn't
everybody.
crawl. He didn't crawl.
No, he scooted.
He butt scooted. He would
crawled.
sit down on his butt and just. That's how he moved around. That's how he moved around, and he followed Ben everywhere.
Yep.
That was pretty much. That's pretty much it. And that's Oliver, like in a nutshell. Oliver is chill.
Jolly.
Loves his brother so much. He loves following him, doing what his brother's doing.
Easily,
there's kind of a problem with that, but
easily entertained.
We're not gonna like get on.
He's also been the best with like playing with toys and like having an imagination. Like he still to this day he'll like take out his dinosaurs and he'll just be like.
Good. Oh yeah, and he's so like weirdly extroverted. He seems like he's an introvert, but he's not. He's
charismatic.
He's very charismatic for a kid. Like he's just like, hey, how you doing? Like he's just like all happy to like just.
I know, you should have saw him at the dentist today. He had the little like the sunglasses like they put on the eye at the eye doctor when they dilate your eyes, and he thought they were like the coolest thing. So he was like, silly. Ollie's silly. That's Ollie.
That's just that's how simple Ollie is. And then Lincoln came along, and I was like, I'm done having kids.
Lincoln's our high maintenance child.
High maintenance. He's like Ben, but to a higher maintenance. Like he just needs more attention or something. Like I don't know what it is with him.
I don't know, man.
But he was a little bit more demanding. But because he was like Ben, we knew how to like navigate him being a child. And then what the little extra loopholes it threw us in was like the peanut allergy, him being a little bit intolerant to milk at first.
The peanut allergy for sure.
The peanut allergy was a struggle. But
and I when I had him, I was like, I'm only gonna nurse him for like a month. And then we're sticking him to formula, and that kid would not take a bottle or a pacifier at all. So I ended up nursing him for a year.
A little over a year.
And still to this day, he plays with my hair and pulls on it.
He's almost 4 years old, and he still plays with her hair.
Ugh,
it's awful.
It's the worst. I blame him for the reason why I look like this.
Yeah.
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 So those are our kids in a nutshell.
And that's pretty much.
All right, we have another point. A funny anecdote. Who is the fun parent? Who's the strict one? Do you have any thoughts on that?
I can say I'm for sure the strict one.
I think we're a good balance.
I can say I'm for sure the strict one. I kind of like enforce them taking breaks from iPads, going outside.
I know, that's true. I do just like want them to be like happy.
But at the same time, I let them chill.
Yeah. And when I'm getting mad, you're like, relax.
Yeah, but when it's taking them out to eat, going to places and all that stuff, that's me also. She does nothing. I'm a single parent with just a girlfriend of a wife or something.
Wow.
I'm joking. No, there's really
it's a balance.
It is a balance because I would say for the most part, I am more strict. I think I can be a little bit more harsh and a little bit more forcing. It's just hard when one of them's actually being funny when I'm trying to discipline them, and I look at her and she's over there going,
like, I can't hold a straight face.
It's like, I'm fine not laughing at them, but you laughing is not helping me laugh.
Well, you know what? They're hilarious. So.
They've gotten very witty. I love it. They're learning very well.
What would you call me then? What do they come to me for?
Oh, you're the comforter.
Oh, I'm the comforter.
You're a mommy.
That's true.
You're like mommy. Typical. You're there. You're comforting. They know that you're not gonna be harsh. Because so here's a prime example of the difference between me and her is Oliver, as sweet as he is, he doesn't come to me because he knows like I'll most likely say no because I sit there and think about. For the most part, Oliver will be like kind of a popsicle, and I'll ask the question, "Did you eat something for dinner first before he can have a treat?" Because I'm not home all day. I don't know these things. And he'll be like, "No." I'm like, "Well, eat something first before you have a treat." Whereas with her, he'll walk, "Can I have popsicle?" "Yeah, sure, go ahead," because I'm busy doing my own little thing. I don't care about you.
Oh, so mean. mean. This is how he is, folks. He's so
No,
mean.
but he plays it though. He does play it,
Yeah.
and it's because you do say yes more often. It's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just you're like, yeah, I saw what you did all day. You're fine. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm like,
More
hey, come on,
inquisitive.
like chill out with the sugar stuff. I don't
Yeah.
want you with type 1 diabetes. Like, I don't want that for you.
Yeah. I feel like you're also like they know to go to you for like when they have math question. Like you're like the intellectual
Oh
one.
my God, education.
Surprisingly, like they go to you for that kind of stuff. Cuz I'm pretty good at like that kind of stuff too, but they always go to you. Maybe it's cuz I told them to ask you.
It's probably because you don't want to deal with it, so I do. Yeah.
What are they? I'm like, they don't really come to us for much though. They're
No,
pretty
the kids are
sufficient.
fantastically self-sustaining to each
Hmm.
other.
And I feel like we spaced them out enough where like
They're
they
within age, but
they can
not.
help each
Yeah,
other
yeah.
too with certain things. Yeah, we got pretty good kids. I think, even though they drive me crazy and
Well, going out in the public and seeing other kids with their parents
mm,
and seeing how wild and crazy they are, and my kids are sitting there and they're like, "That kid sucks." Like, yeah, they don't say that. They don't. Anybody listening, they don't sit there and judge and say that those kids suck. They just know like they're misbehaving and not to act like they're
all
like,
this is
"Oh,
Oliver. Oh, that's not normal.
yeah,
That's not
yeah,
normal.
yeah."
Yeah, I think the thing is, it really for us is like my parents have helped us a lot. And so my parents also are like the spoilers. So a lot of
Yeah.
the times if they want something, they don't come to
Yeah,
us.
that's why they don't come home for the summer
They go
because
to my
they get
parents.
treats all summer long. They
Mhm.
don't have to take break, even though I wouldn't have enforced like a break during the summer. I would have just been like,
Yeah, no. Well, yeah, they just spent all summer, literally, we said it already, all
yeah,
summer at my parents' house, which is like nice for us. They're at a good age where I'm not like worried about my parents getting burnt out, but they literally spoil them rotten. So
I'm fine with it.
me too.
I,
That's what grandparents are
I
for.
don't have a problem with it.
Yeah. So that's the kids in a nutshell.
Kids in a nutshell. They're not here, like always. I love it. That's why I wake up with a smile.
They do get mad that I make them do chores, though.
Yeah, because you don't do chores.
I don't do chores. That's a
They're
whole
like,
nother
why are you
subject.
asking me to do chores
You
and you
don't do
don't?
them. I know.
Well, that's because we had you so you could do them.
He does all the chores around the house because he knows
It's just gotta get
they'll never
done.
get done if
It's
I do
gotta get
it.
done. I don't care. I don't really care.
Um. Okay. This unless you have anything else you'd like to say about
No,
the kids,
no,
they might come up throughout the next
Yeah.
kind of convos. We're gonna move on to our next topic, one that is very close,
It's very dear to me.
passionate.
It's very dear to me. It's
You're
very.
passionate
It's
about
become
it.
very passionate for me.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
You want to introduce it?
Yes.
Okay.
Taking nude self portraits.
Hit me like one of your French
Hit
girls.
me like one of your French guys. Oui, oui. No. One thing we wanted to talk about was because we're both right now trying to hone in our our health, our diet. Well, I
Mhm.
mean that's pretty much it. Our health and fitness journey. We've kind of become a little bit more mature with our eating habits as we gotten older.
Forcefully.
For her, not for me. Mine's been a change.
Not forced. Not he didn't force me. I'm just saying, like as you get older,
Your body does force you.
yeah.
Your
So
body,
you have to
and
do
I will bring up
something
a point
different.
later on how that came about. But
Yeah.
no, it's just the one thing that I wanted to talk like bring up is because a lot of times when I'm having conversation with people at work or
Mhm.
whatever, they don't ever really think about how to like consume food in general.
Mhm.
Like I just had a conversation with somebody the other day where they're like, yeah, I need to lose weight. And it's just like, I need to start exercising and blah, blah, blah. And like the first thing I want to hit that with people is if your overall goal is to lose weight and that's it, like you just want to be smaller in your clothes or whatever like that, you don't have to lift weights. You don't
Mhm.
have to do that. I back in tw- like the late 2000s, I was like 260 pounds. My back was bad,
Mhm.
and I got determined that if I lost the weight, my back would feel better.
Yeah.
Um, so at the time, I didn't know what it was, but the way I ate was how you would eat for intermittent fasting.
Mm-hmm.
I started eating at 10 o'clock and I stopped at 6. And so I did that for like 6 months and I lost like 10 pounds a month. Like I was consistent, lost 10 pounds a month, and I got down to like 200 pounds, way lighter and all this stuff. The back problems, a whole nother story. I'm not going to get into it. Did I start feeling better? Yes. But um, that right there, I wanted to share is because I wasn't lifting weights. I wasn't going for walks. I wasn't running. I wasn't doing anything. I just literally just stopped eating as much.
Mm-hmm.
I just cut back the foods. And the other trick to that was um I didn't actually stop eating out either.
Right. I
I
was
actually
gonna
kept we I still kind of ate out.
just portioned it better.
I just changed the portions,
Yeah.
right? So, for example, I always remember doing this because we would always go to Chili's every week or
Mm-hmm.
something. At the time at Chili's, I was eating like a bacon burger or something with some French fries.
And a quesadilla.
So when those days I knew we were going to Chili's or something, I'd eat at 10 o'clock. I'd start eating at 10 o'clock in the morning. I'd eat something light. We'd go to chill, and I probably would kind of chill and we go to Chili's around like 4 or something. I'd take the burger, and one or two things, depends on when we went. One or two things. I would take the burger, cut it in half, take the fries, split it in half, and just eat half the meal. The other half the meal, I would either eat 3 to 4 hours later, or if it was past 6 o'clock, I would eat it the next day for lunch.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I did. I just split the meal in half,
Yep.
and that worked for me. Now, I wasn't eating a lot of meals. Like I'm eating, that kind of stuff kept me full enough, I guess you
Mm-hmm.
can say. But as I've gotten older and I've gotten a little bit more healthier eating, you're going to find that when you're eating like lean meats like chicken, lean ground beef or maybe turkey, um, stuff like that, you're going to get hungry again in like 2 to 3
Yeah.
hours. So
Yes.
I,
I know all too well.
the way I kind of like discussed it with people is like, well, if you're going to eat healthier, that's going to help too, because eating those types of foods are lower in calories.
Yeah.
And the other trick to it is you you can eat whenever you want, but the way you can sustain your hunger throughout the day, and this is what I'm doing right now, and it's worked for me. I've lost 10 pounds in like a couple months, is eating every 4 hours. So you
Mm-hmm.
have your meal. So I'm having like 400 calories or something for breakfast. I'm eating like protein pancakes and
Mm-hmm.
eggs and all that stuff, and then I'll have like overnight oats for mid morning, late afternoon snack. Then I'll have my lunch, whatever that is. It's usually the food that I cooked the night before for dinner,
Yep.
and I bring the leftovers for
He's also
lunch.
the cook of the house.
So I kind of like bleed it all together. I just eat every 4 hours. So right now I'm just eating 4 meals a day. So I'm eating at like 7, 11, 3, and 7 o'clock. That's it. It's kind of the same principle as intermittent fasting, right? Like, well, not really. I won't say that because I'm not limiting the windows I can eat. I'm just eating at the optimal windows for me to eat throughout the day.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 12-hour period. So again, the whole purpose of me telling you this is for those trying to like lose weight is you don't have to lift weights. Now, lifting weights is going to do something different. I think there's a whole nother story to that.
Yeah.
But I don't want to get into that yet because I want to focus on you and ask you this question, right? Because you've never really had to pay attention to counting your calories and all that
Mm-hmm.
stuff. And I've been enforcing that since like the beginning of the summer, beginning of June, for us to lose weight. Already starting. He's over here trying to start something with me. If I get up, he's going to pee himself. Um, but because I've kind of been used to this idea since like 2017, I've been doing it for a while now. How's like you counting your calories and changing your eating habits worked for you? Like,
Well, should I go back to like when I first like lost weight, but it wasn't intentional?
yeah, you could share that,
Okay.
like, because that's like it still kind of pertains to how
Yeah.
you lose weight.
Yeah. So I had what growing up, I've always had like a super fast metabolism. I was very skinny. As Tom said, it looked like I had a big head because I was so skinny.
She had a big head.
And then I had Benjamin and Oliver, and with pregnancy, you gain a little bit of weight.
Let me interrupt real quick.
Okay.
With Ben, she was close, I think around 95 pounds at the time.
I don't even remember.
She was skinny, 95 pounds.
Like I was 95
No,
pounds.
you were like around 95 to 105.
Oh.
I remember you being like that because you gained like 60 pounds with Ben.
Yeah, I was happy.
Yeah.
Happy girl.
Yeah.
With my pretzels.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I gained weight with the pregnancies, obviously, and then I didn't really do much after Benjamin and Oliver to like lose the baby weight. Like I don't know. It wasn't like a big deal for me.
Same
Ate
face me.
ate really bad, whatever. And then one day, like I literally like my I started having like labor pains, but I wasn't pregnant. So found out I had a gallstone.
Yeah.
And it was like a flare up. I had Chipotle and it flared up my gallstone, and that's why I ended up in the ER on my birthday
On
one
her
year,
birthday. On her birthday.
to find out I had a gallstone. So, the doctor like explained like the reason why you get these flare ups is because you're eating like fatty foods. So until you get the surgery to get your gallbladder removed, if you don't want to have these flare ups, it literally feels like you're in labor. Probably the most pain I've ever been in, minus being in labor. There's no cute baby after I go through those pains. Just, ugh. Anyways, she's like, the way you cut down on that is eat a low fat diet and you won't have those pains until the surgery. And so I was terrified of going through like that whole thing again about feeling like gonna die. So I cut out all fat, not all fats. I think I was on like a 3 or like a 5, I don't know what it is, milligrams or something, like only 5 grams of fat in my
Yes.
diet.
You were low.
I was very low, literally like salads with no ranch, literally nothing. Like it
Yeah.
was nothing.
I
It
should just
was
low
so
fat.
boring.
Is
And I lost a lot of weight. I forget how much weight I
I think
lost.
you lost like 20
Like
pounds.
20
20
pounds.
pounds over
Yeah.
like 2 months.
And that's just from cutting down on fats in my diet.
And she wasn't working out or nothing like that.
No, I just yeah, portion size and then low fat. And then I got pregnant with Lincoln after the surgery and everything. When I was eating regular again, got pregnant with Lincoln. That was the same year, 2020, when it was shut down. So we were door dashing. We were stuck inside, and I got beluga whaled.
Not beluga whaled.
I got really big.
And let me paint a picture. There was one point she looked like Jabba the Hutt. She was laying on the couch, and I thought I was living in Return of the Jedi.
Oh, you're so messed up.
Yeah.
The truth comes out. He just farted.
He's the worst. He's the absolute worst.
He came back behind us, laid down, and then farted.
But with her story, again, I know like going with that is she's like, oh, she had a gallstone. She couldn't eat that way. Well, she what it was motivation. She had something that drove her to,
Change my diet.
change her diet and lose the weight. And that's what also is very important for anybody who wants to like lose weight and who wants to look a certain way is you have to have that motivation. Like every time you're getting ready to like eat something you shouldn't, you have to sit there and remember, like, if I do this, I'm not going to get what I'm asking for. And you have to be willing to accept like you're okay with yourself, or you're going to have to like beat yourself up and hate yourself if you eat it. So it's a struggle. And I think what makes it easier is having somebody that keeps you accountable. And that's in anything in life, really.
Yeah.
Like anything you're trying to improve upon or build upon, you need somebody that's going to keep you accountable. Like that's why I think a lot of people fails because they do it by themselves.
Yep.
And
once they give up, they're just
they're like, they look at it, they're like, well, I'm not doing it for anybody but myself, and nobody's going to be disappointed if I don't. So who cares? Like you have to have that drive, that motivation.
Yeah.
So
after I had Lincoln, I gained a lot of weight.
Yeah.
And after I had him, I didn't change my diet at all. So I just like kept gaining. And that's another thing is like when you get older, it's a lot harder to lose the weight, and it's so easy to gain weight when you're older. At least that's how I feel like. So now when I'm counting my calories or just like watching my portion sizes, it's just more of like it's a slow grind. Like I felt like with the gallstone, it just like the weight just fell off so easily, but I don't know. I just feel like it's a little bit more challenging this time around.
It's because you don't have that thing in the background, that consequence, right? It's like the consequence is I just don't lose weight this week. Like nothing's gonna hurt, nothing's gonna die.
That's true. I don't know. I'm doing okay though. I'm doing okay.
Yeah.
It's a struggle, and I feel like I was saying, as you get older, it's harder because you have more things pulling your attention, but also like your body isn't as young as it used to be. So
Yeah,
it's a little bit of a struggle getting in the gym when we should and whatnot. He doesn't have a problem. He loves going into the gym.
Yeah.
Me, I go in there in flip flops, and he's like,
Yeah. Well, with her, the reason why, and this would be kind of the next point, is the reason why I'm having her work out is she's complaining of hip pain.
"Oh yeah,
So as we get older, and I kind of really feel like this is important for all of us, is we need to do. We're not as active as we were
yeah, it's
back in the
true."
early days. Like we're more sedentary, whatever. We sit more, whatever that stupid S word is. Sedentary.
I was gonna say sedated, so I don't know.
Oh, okay. Comment below what the correct word is. You know what word I'm talking about. We sit down too much. We don't move. And so we don't use all the muscles we're supposed to. So we get lots of pains and aches. Our backs hurt more because we're sitting with like an anterior pelvic tilt where our muscles are just
Oof,
pulling the whole time.
dude.
We don't use our butt like we actually should be using our butt. It's weird. Like the one thing I've learned is you when you're sitting down, you gotta like squeeze your glutes and squeeze your glutes, right, to get them activated because those muscles work in conjunction with your lower back muscles.
I think I told the story about when I went to visit my sister and my back was thrown out
Yeah.
just from driving in the car for 6 hours.
Yeah.
Oof.
And then she threw her back out at the beginning of the year just from sitting on the couch all day reading a book.
Yeah.
I was like, enough of this. We gotta start working out. So
Yep.
this is kind of the general thing that I would tell any population as we get older. Like, you don't have to go to the gym. I mean, 3 to 5 times a week,
Mhm.
3 to 6 times a week, right? You don't have to spend an hour in there. Like, all it really takes is some body weight work, squats, push-ups. There's various other little things that you can do. And just exercise for like 20, 30 minutes, and your muscles will have like that newbie phase that they call it, where you'll build up just muscle and it's enough strength and you just get yourself mobile, you move the muscles, you get blood flow in there, and you keep yourself stretched, you keep yourself moving, and all those pains that you're having will eventually stop or
Mm.
it'll lessen because you're strengthening it. So like your hip pain, like if we were to kind of dedicate it a little bit, a couple days to just like called PT days and just kind of focused on like doing exercises related to your hips, I guarantee you'll stop like having that problem.
Yeah. My kids messed up my hips.
Yeah. And I had lower back issues. I mean, I still kind of do, but
Not as
I
bad.
used to have extreme like pain. I'd have like nerve pain shooting down one leg, sometimes two.
He
I've thrown my
literally
back out a
couldn't
couple
he
times.
literally would not be able to walk for very
I
long.
I couldn't
Yeah.
walk, I couldn't stand up straight. Eventually I learned, and it wasn't from working out. I learned it was just my muscles were so weak and tight that once I stretched them out, like I was able, like I had normalcy again.
This is why you don't play World of Warcraft all day, folks. Just kidding. That's what did it. World of Warcraft.
I miss those days. Anyway, I don't want to keep ranting on that. I just wanted to throw out some some basic
all this
things.
being said, if you want to hire Thomas as your personal trainer, just leave a comment.
Leave a comment down below.
He'll keep you accountable.
I'll send you. You can transfer me, wire transfer money.
No, he really isn't.
$8,000 per.
$1 million.
No, it's simple though. Like we overcomplicate things
Mhm.
as society, and I think we need to just be moving a little bit more.
Well,
That's
like you
all it
said,
is.
the
It's
portion
nothing crazy.
size, the portion sizes for America, like our portion sizes are like
Or-
insane for what
yeah.
like what we are supposed to eat. Like how big is our stomach? They said like as big as your fist.
Yeah.
And our portion sizes are literally like crazy.
Well, for example, like for a couple of years there, I wasn't like really trying to cut. I was just maintaining my weight, and for a while there, like we would go to like BJ's, so we'd have like chips with some spinach dip. I'd eat like 3 or 4 slices of a pizza, a couple of beers or something like that, and I can hold that down. And we kind of had like a cheat day the other couple weeks ago. We ate a little bit of the chips, and I couldn't even really finish the burgers because I got
Yeah,
so
I had,
used
like,
to
2
reducing
burgers.
it that your stomach gets used to just eating smaller meals. And I found also eating smaller meals like that has helped my digestive system a lot more. Like I was having pretty much IBS symptoms, and ever since I've lowered my portions and just started eating more little bit portions, longer periods throughout to let the food digest, I really haven't had problems. I haven't been bloated. I haven't had stomach pains.
Yep.
Except Saturday.
Oof, because he ate a whole pizza for himself.
So I know we're talking about eating well, but I was like, I'm going to fast all day so I can just have 6 slices of deep dish pepperoni pizza from BJ's, and that's all I'm going to eat all day, and I'll be within my calorie range. So I ate that pizza. That was the only thing I ate throughout the whole day, and I didn't eat it in one sitting. I ate a couple
Throughout
slices
the day.
here,
Mhm.
a couple slices here every few hours. I was fine. I was fine. You know, I was happy because she was gone. She left me like she always does, and I was just having a day to myself. And then 1:30 o'clock, 1:30 in the morning,
Mhm.
1:30 in the morning, I wake up with I mean, awful stomach pains.
He has a gallstone.
I was shaking. I was shaking. I was sweating, and I was sitting there going, "Oh my god, am I gonna get sick?" Like I don't like. I was normally I'm pretty good at containing it, even when I have the stomach bug. Like I can fight through this, but it was so bad. I was like, I think I'm gonna get sick. I didn't. It passed like after 10, 15 minutes, and I felt
I
fine.
wonder if you
But
have a gallstone.
no, it was tomatoes.
Oh,
It was the tomatoes and the pepperoni. Because I don't really.
the acids.
It's just the ass tomato. It was mainly the tomato sauce. Tomato
Mhm.
sauce is gonna mess with my stomach. It's just
IBS.
the IBS symptoms and all that stuff.
Leave a
Whatever.
comment if you have IBS. IBS support group.
So it is what it is. You know, I learned my lesson.
Yeah, so
Get the chicken bacon ranch pizza next time.
yes, chicken bacon ranch with basil.
But okay, enough with health and fitness. What are we talking about now?
The next thing is, so we kind of talked about it previously. Thomas was born and raised in Southern California. That's
Yeah.
where he resided for the majority of his
Mm-hmm.
childhood and some of his adult life. What was your experience like there? Here, I feel like in Farmville, it's like
It sucks.
I mean, yeah, it's a
It
little bit
does.
slower pace, but
It's
okay.
slower pace. Okay, so, and I think it's also because I've lived here for like over 10 years
Yeah,
now,
your
right?
adult life, yeah.
But living in Southern California, right? I lived in like the Anaheim, near Anaheim. So there's Disneyland, there's Knott's Berry
Mm-hmm.
Farm. I mean, we had malls all over the place. There's parks,
Yeah.
there's lots of rec leagues, like sports and all that stuff. So there was always something to do.
Yeah, and it's like everything's really well maintained
The
too.
weather is like warmer down there in Orange County.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I was outside all the time, like a
Yeah,
lot.
you were. It was
Um,
so tan.
and then
Not to say you're not tan now, but
yeah. So anybody who's been to SoCal is going to know there's stuff to do. So it's to me, it was just the norm to go out and do stuff, ride bikes all day, be out until 10, 11 o'clock at night. Just doing that stuff. And then moving here, you come to Farmville
there's really nothing to do.
and there's just nothing to do. And you're just like, I guess I'm going to play World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
Like, what else is there to do?
So this doesn't really have anything to do with Southern California, but more so like the culture that you grew up in, because his family is all white. Wah, wah, wah! Caucasians out there, holler. Whereas my family is like a mix of Filipino and my dad's part white. Was there any differences in like at least on like our Filipino side, that you were like, this is weird?
Well, to be honest with you, I think the Filipino side, like your mom's side of the family,
Mm-hmm.
is, I don't know, like it maybe the closest to being at home,
Mm.
right? Because it just feels normal. So, like, this gonna depends who's listening, and I'm sorry if you're gonna take this the wrong way. But when I first came up here, her whole life, her whole family was church and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Your church family and all that stuff. So I come up here and they're Christians, you know, they're chill. Now I grew up in a Catholic family. We didn't really go to church though. My background is I went to the only time ever went to church was maybe middle school for a little bit with my one of my best friends who took me and all that stuff, and I liked it, but it was a Baptist church. Well, I didn't like it, hate it because it was a Baptist church. I know that's how that's where it's gonna come out. They went to a Baptist church, and it was fine. I was fine with it and all that stuff, but I just stopped going because I was just like, I don't want to waste my Sundays here. You know, as a kid.
Football.
No,
Sunday, Sunday,
it
Sunday.
wasn't even that yet. Football didn't really become more big until high school.
Oh, okay.
So it wasn't even that. It was just I just didn't want to get up and go to church. You know, we didn't do that. That wasn't a norm for me. So coming up here and seeing that being a norm, that was completely opposite of what I did, which is we're going to church on Sundays. Now, the way I always explained it to everybody at church too, when I first came here, was I went to church with them because they were giving me a place to stay. I'm not going to sit there and be a jerk. Like, they're not making me pay rent. They're feeding me and all that stuff. The least I can do is go to church with them like they asked. Like, I'll do it. But I didn't care for it.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to go full detail, but it was a pretty bad first experience there. I had a pretty bad first experience. It was a little rough times, but it clearly paid out.
Jesus.
It paid out. It did pay out. With the grinding out through the rough time paid out. Let's just put it that way. But that was the difference in culture
more
from living,
mild.
because literally living in Southern California with my family and all that stuff. We grew up
rowdy.
the Irish rowdy drunk. I wasn't aware of it,
It's
but
a
I know
party.
now drugs and all that stuff too. So I'm used to just chaos. Chaos was normal for me. So coming here and people just being chill, loving, like, that was great. That was fantastic.
But,
But
like, this is boring.
But people are like, oh, we're pretty wild. I'm like, not even close. Like, my wild, like, if you want me to rate your wild is a 2 out of 10 on a scale. Like, I know what a 10 out of 10 looks like, and this is far from it.
Yeah. But it's kind of funny that you mentioned that, because, like, yeah, our dynamics were really, like, different, like, family wise, like, and who we hung out with wise. But, like, it's funny how, like, when our families come together, it's just like,
well, going away from church family to like intermediate, like our intermediate families, our families click. Like, we just get along, which is fantastic. It's
crazy. I was just telling somebody too, like, I know, like, if my parents were going down south or something and something happened to their car, or like they were stranded somewhere, like, I know I could, like, call your mom or dad and be like, hey, like, can you go pick up my parents? And, like, they drop everything and go pick them up. Like, they'd be taken care of. So very rare, I think, to, like, have that kind of, like, familial relationship where, like, my parents are comfortable with yours and vice versa. We're like, it's like old. It's crazy how we're just like old friends.
Well, how was it for you because I mean, we only lived there for a couple times, and that was kind of the end of like the family chaos. I guess you can say we kind of
mellow.
Everything kind of like.
I love your family. I thought they were the best.
Yeah, you weren't there for the parties.
I wasn't there
You
for
weren't
the
there for the nastiness.
No, I think any kind of drama that happened, I wasn't around for.
But I'll say that in case like any of my family's listening. Like, you know what? Is it as crazy, as bad as it was? There was times where it was bad, but like they would actually talk through it and everything would be fine. And then what was bad was when we stopped talking through it.
Yeah, that's communication.
And then the dysfunction just basically became to like everyone just became separate at that point.
Yeah, but I loved your family, even your extended family over there. They were great. They always were nice to me. And the parties that I went to, they were fun.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It reminded me of like my mom's side too.
Yeah. That's just
kind of like unhinged,
unhinged, normal, like just no, like you don't have to like worry that you're gonna upset somebody.
Yeah.
I wish it shouldn't be that way.
Yeah.
In the church, I'm gonna be honest with you, but I don't want to go into church life. That's not a topic, and I'm not gonna do it.
But what is a topic?
Education. Oh my god.
Unless you have anything else you want to say about growing up different.
This is probably a little bit more background of me, if anything, right? Yeah. Is this like a whole thing where I'm basically giving my points? Is like, because I feel like we're not really having a conversation. I feel like I'm just kind of like ranting here.
You're my special guest, so they know a lot about me already. They know I love Taylor Swift. They know a lot about me, so I'll give what I can do if I have something to say. But no, let's go through it. So well, I'll go ahead. You go ahead.
She texted me. She said we're going to talk about education. I was like, I hate education. I hate the U.S. education. I think it's a joke.
I don't know anything about outside of U.S. education, but
that's where that's where we're at. So that's what we can only base off our.
So it's kind of funny because usually, stereotypically, okay, Caucasians and Asians are like, go to college, get a degree, get a career kind of thing.
Okay, yeah.
Me and him?
No.
Nope. We tried it.
No.
And
were you a 4.0 student?
Yeah, at one point, yeah.
I was just at a 2.0. Now that was by choice, by the way. That wasn't because I was stupid. That was by choice. For those who don't know, I kind of had a realization in 9th grade where
middle school, even you said
middle school, it started to click. In 9th grade, I was like, no, I'm not going to do this. Where I realized it's pointless to be a straight A student. I was like, this is pointless. So for me, this was me going through high school was Math came easy. I could do all the homework within the 40 minutes I was in math class. So I would just literally do it the day, like in like that day, whatever
Mhm.
we're doing, I'm just sitting there while the teacher's teaching that. I'm like, da 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 da, whatever. I'm done with this. Like I'm done. Got an A in that class. Didn't have to try. Obviously, PE, you just show up and try. Um, history and all that other like all the other little extracurricular activities. Again, I picked them. I liked them. They were easy to do. It wasn't required much. English was the only one that I said I'm not going to sit here for 9 months doing this stupid homework.
I think I even told you at a certain point, I was like, you were doing an essay and you were like so irritated with it. I was like, send it to me and I'll look over it for you. Did you remember that? I remember doing that and like proofreading your essay and I had like so many like marks and you're like,
I think that came in community college.
oh, did it?
I think
Okay.
that was a community college.
Well, that's fast forwarded
But
then.
basically, that was every year except every year English was the one thing I said, I'm not going to sit here and go home, read a few chapters, write an essay, and all this stuff. Because our school was so big on writing essays all the time and reading. I was like, I'm not going home and doing that. Like, I'm going to intentionally fail this class, go to summer school for 3 weeks, sit there for 4 hours a day, and get an A and do it that way. And that's what I did. I completely blew off English every year, went to summer school, we would just, and the best part was is you go to summer school, everybody you know and you want to talk to is there.
It's
So
wild.
you're sitting in a classroom with a bunch of people you like to hang out with and talk to, and that's all you're doing. Because the work wasn't much. It was just they took some of the stuff and applied it through each day, and that was it. Easy A. It changed your grade to an A. So it's like, why would I sit there and go home every day and do all this unnecessary reading when I can do it all in 3 weeks?
He's wild, guys.
Yeah,
I could never do that.
but it's like, what am I going to do in my summer? Oh, sleep in. Oh, okay. I don't like to sleep and I want to
That's
go out and do
true.
something and go hang out with my friends. But guess what? All my friends are at summer school doing um, advanced classes or they're making up a class or something. So it's like, I'm not gonna try
That's
for English.
insane.
Senior year was the only year that I put a little effort in, and I got a D because it's considered passing.
And you didn't really even care,
Didn't care.
but you just
Didn't
did it for
care
your family, right? Your parents?
for graduating.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to graduate. I didn't want to like not graduate. I didn't want to go to the graduation ceremony.
Yeah, I know that you didn't
That part
care,
I
but
didn't care
like
about.
your
Like I was
mom
like,
wanted you to go, so
yeah,
that's
it was for
why.
them. I was like, look, this is what we're supposed to do in life. This isn't like I could care less. I don't
Yeah.
really care. I understand people are like all happy about it. I don't care. I don't care.
How about no?
Like, no, it's a waste of time. Like, just give me the diploma, let me go home. Like, I wasted 4 years here already. If I could do things differently, I thought about this. And I was like, another option I would probably do in life is take the GED thing at
Hmm.
16 and just be done with high school then.
Yeah, and get a start.
And then just
Whatever
probably
you
head
wanted to do.
start and do that and start putting money away in a 401k so I could retire at 50 instead of
Okay,
55.
let's pause before we get too far ahead. So that was his experience with high school.
But I was going to get into that.
Yeah,
I wanted to
so
say
he
what
was
was
2.0
you.
student. I was, anywhere between a 3.6 and a 4.0 at any given point in high school. And it wasn't so much that um like I knew what I wanted to do or whatever. I was just a good student.
She
So
lived in Farmville. She had nothing to go do after school. Of course she's going to do her homework.
I didn't really do too much homework though. I think I did most of
No,
it in
I'll
class.
take it. I'm going to take it back. I remember because we had started dating when I was ninth grade. She was eighth
Yeah,
grade.
I hardly ever
So
had
I
homework.
remember her literally doing what I would do is just do homework in
Yeah.
class.
I mean, every so often they'd send us home with like a project that I would do, but yeah, I think I was just a good student. And I've told this story before where like in my head, all like well, my mom is an immigrant. She came from Philippines. So technically I'm like a first generation, but my dad had lived here. Anyways, her thing and a lot of in like Asian culture is like go to college, go to college, go to college, go to college kind of thing. Like get your degree or whatever. So in my head I'm like, okay, I'll get a degree or I'll go to college, whatever. But so I was even like doing like the California Scholarship Federation and like looking at like what I wanted to do and like trying to get ideas there. But there was at my high school, there was literally zero people that tried to help me like apply for college, like know like the steps to do to get into like a accredited college. Like I didn't know what I was doing. I was winging it the whole time. I had no idea.
Now I think we had that, but because I didn't care, I never looked into it. So I do think like there was plans. Like I said, a lot of When I was going to school, it was normal for us to do timed essays like often in
Mhm.
English. Again, this is why I didn't care about English, right? When we came up here and we did a little bit of community college, I remember doing a writing class, and I think we had to do 5 essays throughout the whole semester. I thought that was a fantastic class. I actually learned a lot in that writing class, like how to improve my
Mhm.
writing. Like
Yeah.
that teacher was probably the best English teacher I've ever had. Um, but I remember we were doing a timed essay, and I think we had an hour and a half, 2 hours to do this essay. And everybody in the class was losing their mind, going, "That's not enough time. Like, how you expect me to do that?" And I'm sitting there in my mind going,
30 minutes.
I've been doing this for like 3, 4 years where they want us to just write an 5 paragraph essay in 40 minutes or like 35 minutes.
Mhm.
So to me, I was like, that's more than enough time to do it. So it's like, it was kind of interesting, kind of going back to that last point where Southern California to here,
Mhm.
there was a difference in education from
Yeah, the
just Southern
standards.
California to Central California. Like the way that they prepared here was like less than in Southern California.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just wanted to.
Yeah, no. I didn't know what I was doing, and it worked out because I really didn't know what I wanted to do. Well, I did, but it wasn't really like a thing back then, which is like the graphic design and like managing like websites and stuff.
Yeah.
But it really wasn't like a fully fledged like major when we were in high school. Like if you wanted to do web development, they're going to be teaching you like actual coding. I didn't want to do the coding. I just wanted to like be more of like on the design end and
See, I
like
love the
yeah.
coding part of it.
So worked out. Yeah, we both graduated. I was with my California Scholarship Federation up in the front. You were just chilling, waiting for the day to be over. um, and then so after high school, we both went to community college for a little bit, and quickly discovered
We hated it.
not for us. And that kind of ended our like whole degree, like trying to get a degree. Like I went to my counselors. I was proactive about it and like talked to them about like, okay, what do we need to do to like get a degree, or what do I need to do to get a degree? And they're like, oh, you need to take this class, you need to take this class, and we need to take this class. I was like, I'm literally never going to use these skills in what
Yeah,
I want
yeah,
to do. Like I'm
yeah,
wasting my time and
yeah.
money to take these
It's
classes that I don't want to take.
such garbage. It's garbage.
So uh
I don't even use like base like algebra. I would say is probably the most math you need to take, and I still don't even use most of the principles of
mhm.
algebra anymore.
Children that are listening, we're not the best example. Well, maybe we are, if this is the path that you want to go on.
Hey, it will save you hundreds of thousands
Yeah.
of dollars and not wasting your time getting a paper degree that you're probably not going to use.
So,
Plain and simple.
many of our friends have gone through that too. So, I mean,
Yeah, but I can also give you an example of a friend who
mhm,
knew what he wanted to do,
went
and
fully into it.
it wasn't just that he went and got A's in community college and 4 year college, but he also did extracurricular like activities within college
Networking,
and
yeah.
networking and doing group things within the schools and all that stuff. And that's what really helped him land a job. It wasn't just the A's.
Hmm.
It was the networking and doing things and going out and meeting people.
Yeah. So I mean that kind of is what I was going to get into, is that like once we stopped getting like stopped the community college stuff and then we moved up north, we decided to go to like tech schools to actually learn skills, which is a whole nother thing because that was a waste of money. You didn't really need to, like, it's all
That was
basic knowledge.
it
Like,
for me
common sense.
did kind of pay out where I'm at now, because where I got hired at now, um they took that medical billing stuff and wanted to see if I could bring in something fresh.
Mm. Oh,
So it
okay.
did kind of
I
pay
mean, and
out.
I got good jobs too from
Yeah.
the medical billing too. However, like I feel like a lot of the stuff that
But
was taught,
it
it was
wasn't
all
necessary.
common sense, and it was the only point of that tech school was to get your foot in the door somewhere.
It was just, and they don't even really help you with that.
Yeah.
Like honestly, if I was still in the medical, let's just go back 2017 when I was last in it. If you were some like kid that came out of high school and wanted a job and I needed to hire somebody, I'd take you, because like it's not hard. It's just
Mm-hmm.
me needing to show you the steps of what you need to pay
You
attention
have to just
to.
be a good
You don't need to
learner.
go to tech school and pay like 10, 20 grand just to say, I know what I'm doing. Like,
Yeah, it was all common knowledge that you could learn if you really
and you're
wanted
not
to.
going to learn most of that stuff anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And what you're going to learn is whatever practice you end up in.
Yeah. So that brings us to like that last point right there, is like skills versus like degree. Like I feel like skills and networking are like you need to have both in order to succeed.
Yeah, I think school's such a complete joke. Like if you're a reporter or someone who's a journalist and all that stuff, you've probably been writing for most of your life because you love to write.
Mm,
And if you want to improve your writing, what are you going to do? You're going to go take a class for
on
writing.
writing.
You're not
Yeah.
going to sit there and spend 5 semesters taking pointless chemistry and
I was gonna
math and
say
all this stuff
chemistry.
just to so you can write for the New York Times or something. Like
Yeah.
I just think like
Baloney.
it's baloney. It's baloney, basically.
Yeah, it's just seems like and the kids now, and this kind of goes, we're going to skip this part because I don't really want to talk about it, but it's like for a lot of the next generation is like they think that once they get a degree then they're like set, but it's not really. Like people are going to want to see like how they learn on the job, or like get their hands dirty if you must,
Yeah.
where instead of just like they think after college and like they're gonna have a job handed to them, whereas like a lot of people find that they get their degree and then like the job that they went to get that degree for, they're not hiring or they can't find work, so they
Yeah.
end up working for something
And
else
they
while they
don't
wait to
and
get into
because of
that.
that, they end up drifting off into
Mm.
something else, and then they're like, you could have saved 100 grand just doing that to begin with.
Yeah, so what are you gonna tell the boys? We kind of talked about it before. What are you gonna tell the boys when they get like to be like 16, 17, when they're like, oh,
Well,
school,
the,
or
the, the
like, oh,
way the
college?
way that I'm like kind of approaching with the kids right now is I want them to follow what they want to do. And
Yeah.
I'm not going to discourage them and tell them to stop. Like they're sitting there at times with their iPads recording videos, and yeah, their videos are like, but you know what though? Like
They love
it's
it.
gonna
Yeah.
if they keep
The
doing it,
skills that
I
they have.
know eventually they're gonna get better at it.
That's
And
because that's how I learned too, was
right,
just
and
doing
it's
stuff
just doing
on
it.
my
I've like
own.
give them the opportunity to do it and just build upon it. Like you got to start somewhere.
That's so true.
So for me, it's like I'm not like interested in pushing my kid into doing a sport just because like I want to see them wear like a Bears jersey in the future. Like they're
Mhm.
not playing football. I'll tell you that right now. That's the one thing I'm putting my foot down. Football, I'm sorry, with all the way that sport is and how many people end up with CTs and or the CTEs or whatever it is, all messed. No, 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 no,
Not my
no.
Ollie.
Not my kids. Not my kids. But like I,
That's so
for
true
them,
though.
it's just like, look, if you know what you want to do, all in it. Like I know I said school's pointless, but all in it. You can skip the community college part if you all in it and go for
There's so
um
many options out there
yeah,
now.
there's opportunities to get scholarships.
Yeah.
So if you know what you want to do, all in it, and you have to put the work in. Like that's how life is. Like the one thing that they're gonna have to learn is if you want something, you're gonna have to all in it.
Yeah.
So
I didn't
like
even know how to apply to scholarships. Nobody told me how to apply for
I
scholarships.
honestly couldn't tell you, but I didn't look into it either. So
I don't know. Sometimes I get sad that I never.
why you
I
look
mean,
what
I
you're
was a
doing
kid.
now.
That's true. I know. I know. I love what I'm doing now.
Yeah, but now you have the understanding like that's something like that's going to drive you nuts. So that when your kids are interested, you're going
I'm
to do the
beyond it for
you're
them.
going to look yourself, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So who cares? You get bummed. You look at it and you're just like, look, this person didn't do this for me, or this person didn't
Yeah.
show me this. So you know what? I'm going to take the initiative and do it.
Yeah, that's true. I was just a kid, so, and like my parents didn't know either since they never went to
Yeah,
college, so they couldn't help. At least I feel like I'm better suited to like at least do the groundwork to help my kids if they want to go that route.
yeah.
So,
And set your kids up successfully now.
yeah,
Build them a custodial account and just put in a couple $100 into like an index fund
that's true. Except
till
right
they're 18.
now, we're in recession.
That's the time to put money in is when you're in a recession because it'll rebound.
Oh, that's true.
It always rebounds
By
somehow.
now.
And if it doesn't, then guess what?
What do they call it? Bear? It's a bear
It's a
market.
bear market. It's the best time to buy. Bear market is the best time to buy. Not
So
when
if
it's
you're
a bull.
not, so if you're not,
Bull, you sit in a bull market. Bull market up. You don't buy. When it's bear market, you buy.
right now it's bear market, guys. So if
Bear
you
market.
haven't
You make money in a bear
invested,
market.
invest now, and then just watch it climb. Hopefully.
We'll do a financial episode one day.
Finance. Oh.
And I'll just sit here and just bore you guys to death with how to build your portfolio.
Okay, so we have to close this out. We're gonna do a couple of rapid fire questions. Okay.
Already closing?
What do you want to talk about? You want to do these?
I was just wanting to revisit the acknowledgement that Jasmine's not here, and this has been a fantastic
It's
episode.
been great. We actually talked about stuff.
We
I don't
talked
know if
about
it's
points.
anything you guys are interested in, but like it's good stuff that we're interested in. So if there's ever something you guys want us to talk about or want to hear more from Thomas about, please leave us a comment so we know.
Maybe we'll do our own podcast.
Maybe we will. Who needs Jasmine?
I don't. I don't.
She's gonna be like this.
She's gonna be so mad.
She's gonna be
You know
so
how
mad.
great it would have been if we had actually gotten like a couple of guests.
She would have been so mad.
Oh my god! I told her. I said I was telling Bevin. I was
We
like,
would have FaceTimed her.
I told Bevin. I was like, we need to get a couple of guests because it's gonna
Her
piss her off.
godchildren.
She's gonna be so mad. I was like, we should do this person, this person, this person. That was gonna drive her nuts.
So Jasmine, if you're listening to this whole episode,
Your sister saved you.
I saved you some heartache.
Yeah. Oh, how funny! How funny would it have been?
His mom just texted me. She never texts me.
Yeah, she texted me today too. How funny would it have been though if we actually got a special musical guest? That would have been awesome, right?
A special musical guest.
That would have been kind of interesting. We're getting dinged right now. I think it's time to tell us to move on, right? All right, so rapid fire questions.
Yes.
Is that what we're moving into?
Let's just answer at the same time, okay?
Okay.
For this one. Who said I love you first?
I
Thomas did. You want to tell him how you remember?
We were on the phone. We had first just started talking.
Uh-huh.
And I think we were just saying goodnight to each other. And I just said, I love you. And I remember going, why did I say that right away? I had feelings for her.
I think we had said it in like chat. That's why.
No, I don't think we did.
Oh, okay.
All I know is I said it and I was just like,
I was quiet. I was taken aback. I was like,
she didn't say anything. And you know what? It's fair.
I said I love you too, though, after.
But you hesitated.
Yeah, I did hesitate. I did because it caught me off guard.
I was just like, oh, that's weird. Why did I say that?
Well, just for
I had
reference,
feelings for her. It was
14,
my first girlfriend. It was my
14,
first girlfriend. Yeah. I had feelings for her. What can I say?
All right. What's Thomas's most annoying habit? I don't know. I don't find you annoying.
Yeah, you do.
Okay, well, recently he's been jump scaring me and throwing plushies at my face, which is so annoying.
Okay, I threw one plushie. That's it. The jump scare thing, yes, I've been doing that to her lately. That's a thing I love to do.
He's just started doing it. What about me? What's my most annoying habit for you?
Your phone.
That's
it.
I know.
It's when, hey, you want to watch TV? Sure. Put something on. That's her. I'm just like, I've learned to just say, I'm going to watch the show. I don't care if she's watching. But then she's also the one that's going to turn around and go, why do you think that it is this way? And they showed it, but she's too busy watching her phone. She didn't see it. So I just make up some lie like, it's probably because of this.
So another question, I guess. What's my favorite way to relax after a long day?
A book.
Yeah.
It's a book right now. For now, it's a book. That or dead scrolling through Instagram. But I would say it's a book.
For him, unwinding with his headphones on, listening to music, and playing a video game that he's into. Right now, Path of Exile.
Yeah, I would say, yeah.
Or working out. But sometimes you don't want to work out after a long day. You just want to chill. If he wants to chill, music with his headphones and a video game.
It's music, video game.
Yeah.
All that.
Who's more likely to forget an anniversary or special occasion?
Have I ever?
Yeah, my birthday.
When?
There was one time. Was it my birthday or anniversary where you forgot until the very end of the day? I was like, "Are you going to say anything to me?" And you were like, "Oh." Do you remember that?
I've never forgotten your birthday.
Maybe not my birthday. Maybe it was our anniversary.
There's no way I forgot our anniversary. I remember that every year. I'm pretty sure I forgot something.
Yeah, he would forget.
It had to. Oh, Valentine's Day. That's what it was. It was Valentine's Day. It was Valentine's Day. I remember that one. She's like, "You gonna say anything to me?" And I'm like sitting there thinking, our anniversary is on the 18th. Why am I gonna?
It's close. We usually kind of bundle them.
Like what? What do you want me to say?
Honestly,
it's Valentine's Day. I messed that one up.
Honestly, we're not really big on like
Valentine's Day is the one we're not big on.
Yeah,
well, we are because we combine it with the anniversary.
Yeah, it's right next to each other.
So we just don't plan anything because of Valentine's weekend and all that stuff. So it's like everything's like 3 times in price.
Okay. Yeah. What's the first meal you cooked for me?
Oh.
I know what it was.
I think I know what it is. I want to hear what you think.
Nacho bake.
That's what I was thinking. That's exactly what I was thinking.
We came and visited, and you're like, "I'm gonna make you nacho bake."
I feel like it was nacho bake. Yeah. That sounds right.
It was so good.
Yeah.
10 out of 10.
Nacho bake. What it is: ground beef, Velveeta mac and cheese, taco seasoning on the ground beef. You can put some salsa on it. You can put some shredded cheese. Eat it with Fritos. It's like a dip too. Oh, I want to make that again
So
soon.
good. The boys love it too.
I'll probably make it again soon.
They'll be
Maybe
happy.
tomorrow.
They would be, or
Because the boys will come home tomorrow.
before they come home from school. They start school in a couple days.
Before they come home from school, I'm at work all day.
Oh well, too bad. Okay, if I could travel anywhere, where would I choose?
Well, wait. I thought this was rapid fire for both of us. So you just asked yourself a question?
You answer first, and then I'll choose.
No, hold on. Listener. This is how the question is worded. If Bevin could travel anywhere, where would she choose? Again, why don't I get an option? Why don't I get a say? Why is she always leaving me out? Now, if you want me to answer that, where do I think you would want to go? Right now, I think the place. Oh, okay. Well, I guess if we wanted to be anywhere, it'll be Hawaii.
Mm-hmm.
Hawaii. If we take out the U.S., let's take the U.S. out and do foreign travel.
Okay.
I think it's London. I think it's the U.K. England.
That's where you think I would want to go? England?
That I don't. Unless you want to go to France.
I was thinking Italy.
Ah, that was an option.
Because the foods.
I was thinking Italy too.
Yeah.
I'm so dumb. I should have said it.
I love Italian food.
Oh, I understand.
For you, U.S. It's between Hawaii and Chicago. I know I've been wanting to go to Chicago too. So
I do want to take her.
That's probably, if we had to choose in U.S., probably Chicago, someplace we haven't been before. Or at least one of us.
I would love
to
take you to Chicago sometime in like October, September.
Yeah, I would really
when football season starts. So I can
or
go see a Bears
Nashville.
game. Ooh, I do want to go to Nashville. Same time around like September, October.
International.
You should know this.
You'd want to go see a football game over in London somewhere.
Oh yeah.
To see Arsenal play.
I've never really cared for going out of the country. Now that I've gotten into football over there across the seas, I would love to go see Arsenal play.
Yeah. Who's the bigger spender?
Okay, this could be taken as two ways.
Who spends the most?
Who is the bigger spender, as in who will make the bigger purchase? Right? That's me. That is 100% me. I don't ask for much, but when I do, it's big.
Who shops the most? Me.
Her. Yeah. So it balances out.
Yeah.
It balances out.
Okay, next one. What's one thing Bevin can't live without?
Her phone.
Yeah.
Her phone. She cannot live without her phone.
I can't. You?
I'm like, if it wasn't for this podcast right now, like I would have no attention whatsoever. She would just be.
For you can't live without your headphones. At work, you always ask me to drop
you know
your
what?
headphones.
I won't disagree with that.
The one thing that he'll ever call me
to... one thing I need right now.
He never calls me to drop anything off. Lunch, he'll be fine. But if he's calling me to drop something off at work for him, it's his headphones.
Food, I'll take care of myself. Yeah. Clothes, I'll do that too.
Headphones?
Wait, why would I forget my clothes?
You poo yourself?
Yeah, I need a pair of change clothes. No, that's an instant. I just come home right away. Like I just leave. I don't even say anything. If that ever happens, I just go straight home. I go straight home, roll the windows down. I don't even sit down correctly. I'm just like driving like this.
I feel like you would take them off. If you had an accident in your undies, you take your undies off in the car and you drive without undies on. I feel like that's what you do.
I don't know. I really don't know. I can't answer that.
If you see him driving around butt naked, it's because he pooed himself.
That would be so funny because we have cameras at work of all the exits, so you just see me leaving butt naked.
Oh my god.
That would not be a sight to see.
Who's more likely to start a DIY project and never finish it? You think you?
Me.
I feel like any project you start, you always finish it. Once you start it, you finish it. You have projects that you want to do and don't start it, but once you start a project, you always finish it.
Well, I would just say I think it's me, but
I feel like for me, I start things all the time and I never finish them.
That's the thing, is why I said it was me. It's because I never see her start anything or finish anything. So
I've gotten better about it.
Usually if you do a DIY, it's like making a cabinet from IKEA and you usually finish that.
That's true. DIY project. It's something from IKEA.
That's what I think of when you do one.
I'm thinking like drawing something.
Yeah, but see,
or-
like, okay, you want to talk about drawing something? I have stuff in my sketchbook that I haven't even finished or done. Like, I bought those colors, those watercolors and whatnot, and I haven't touched them.
well,
I just haven't made time to do it.
man,
I would do it at lunch, but I'm so tired all the time. I take a nap instead.
old man.
Oh man.
What's the silliest argument you've ever had? I'd have to say something that we just like we get mad at each other and we don't even remember. At least me, I get mad at him for sometimes and I don't even know why. And then like I'm like, this is dumb, and then I apologize.
The beauty of our relationship is we don't argue. It's not an exaggeration. If we argue, it's very rare. Out of the 20 years we've been together, I don't even think we've argued for like a total of 2 weeks.
Oh, like all put together?
All put together.
It usually doesn't last any longer than like 24 hours if we're like upset with each other.
Oh, what's the last argument we even
The
had?
biggest argument we ever had was when we were living down south and he got sick. We were supposed to come over here for New Year's.
Oh,
He got sick and I was like, are we not going to go? And he's like, I'm sick. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm going.
Let me tell you how sick I was. I was for a week straight, had a stomach bug. I was thrown up for 3 days. That's sick. So when it came time to leave to go and visit family up here, she left me. And I was very upset. I was like,
He wanted me to just
I wanted to
stay
hang out with her.
dote on
She
the
left
sick
me.
wing.
She left me. That's fine. Hey, you know what? That's fine.
I'm going to leave a poll. If your significant other was sick on New Year's, but you had vacation.
You're setting yourself up. You're laughing. That is don't do it.
Okay.
Don't do it. Let me put it this way. Let me put it this way from point of view.
Maybe it's still an argument.
I at the time I hated that she bailed on me like that. Like it sucked because I wanted her. I had nobody else to hang out with. I wanted somebody to hang out, like to spend it. But at the same time, like I did get over it quick.
Yeah.
Like I was like, you know
like
what?
24 hours.
She's hanging out with her family and friends, whatever. Like, who am I to be selfish? I'm sick. I can't do anything. Just go. Like today, if I'm sick, go hang out. Like I don't care. That actually happened this year or this past Christmas. I got COVID. I was the only one who got it.
Mm-hmm.
It was on Christmas. I was like, I'm not going over with anybody. You take the kids, go hang out with everybody, have a good time. I don't care.
Yeah. Maybe that just comes with maturity
And you know what? To be honest with you guys, I was making Paradise Punch cocktails. I was drinking those all day long, playing some World of Warcraft. Dude, it was the best day of my life. It was the best day. It was honestly the best day. Like, not that because I didn't have anybody around.
He just was chill.
But somehow, like that day, I had like some worship music on. I'm all singing Jesus while I'm drinking. Okay, rum doesn't get me like drunk. It kind of calms me down. I drank enough to the point where it was getting me drunk though. Okay, like that's how much I was drinking that day. I'm not drinking right now. All right, if anybody at church is listening, I'm not drinking right now. I gave it up. There's a reason I gave it up. We can talk about that another time. But I gave it up right now. But man, I had such like a peaceful day. Like that day was so nice. Like the time went by. I was chilling. Like I said, marathon of just worship music, having some cocktails. It's a weird combination, I know. And wow, and that was just a great day.
Yeah, I remember I came home and he was like happy.
I was just happy. It was just a great day. And I sit there and think about it. I go, you know, that's what I want to do for Christmas this year. I don't think I'm going to, but it was just like one of those moments that just weirdly worked out, you know? Yep. It was cool.
Yeah, I know. We did miss you at Christmas though.
Yeah. Hopefully I'll be there this year.
Yeah, so that was probably like the silliest argument we had, I would say, probably. Because that was like one of the more intense arguments that we had, if I'm honest. And it only lasted like 24, 48 hours. Because I knew he was really mad when I called him and he would not answer my phone call.
I did not want to talk to her.
He was so mad.
But that was pretty much it. Like that's
as bad as it gets.
That's as bad as it gets. There's times where we get mad at each other and we just kind of go a separate way. Well, let's count this as an argument, maybe. I don't think this is an argument, but let's count it just because it's funny.
When I was first cutting?
So when she was first cutting, she was struggling, okay? And it turned out she had not eaten all day.
That dog took the thing off of the... I'll go fix it. Go ahead. Tell the story.
So she did not eat all day. Like the last time she ate was like 6 o'clock the night before, and it was 2 o'clock the next day. She was almost in a full day of fasting. And she's over there trying to make food, and I'm like, I'm like, have you eaten today? And she's like, no, I haven't. I go, why didn't you make something to eat or say? And I was like, okay, you need food. You're having a meltdown. Like, come on, you know what to do. Let's do it. Come on. And she's like, I can't think. And I'm like, Bevin, I forget what you were making. It was just ground beef. All you had to do was just throw it in. All you had to do was just.
He wanted to measure it out, and I was having a meltdown.
Just all you had to do was put it on the bowl, on the scale, and it would tell you how much you were going to make right then and there. And she couldn't do it, and she had a complete meltdown. And I kid you not, guys, best moment of my life with her. Best moment of my life with her. She stormed down the hallway, slammed the door like she was a 13-year-old girl. She was crying and stomping and slammed it. That was that. And I just sat there, grabbed my food, sat down on the couch with the boys. And the boys were like, what's wrong with my mom? I was like, Mom's hungry. She's a little upset. We're just going to let her be.
Poor Lincoln, though.
And then Lincoln's like, can I go see her? Like, she wants to see you right now. Go see her right now.
And we cuddled until I got
But
my
I hope,
together.
Look, as long as I don't have dementia, hopefully,
you never forget that?
I'm never going to forget her walking down the hallway, stomping her feet like a little 13-year-old girl, crying and throwing a fit, and then slamming the door. She slammed the door. She never gets mad like that.
I'm pretty even keeled. Yeah,
it was fantastic. Best moment with her.
He never sees me losing my cool. I am not a door slammer.
You get irritated, but not like no. Like, see, people will sit there and like, oh, you're mad. Like, no, that's called irritated.
Yeah,
you've never seen me mad. You've never seen me mad.
I see him mad all the time.
She's seen me legitimately mad a couple times. It's not pretty. It's not pretty.
It's okay. Growth. It's getting better.
It's getting better.
Okay.
I don't get mad as much anymore.
All right. So that's pretty much it for this episode. As always, I've always enjoyed having you on. I mean, we only had you on one time before, but we talk all the time. So
yeah.
Maybe we will have a podcast.
Maybe we'll talk about some random stuff.
Maybe we'll just kick my sister off, and this will be.
No, we won't kick her off. You guys keep your Sispatch name and all that stuff. We'll come up with something better.
Maybe we should do it. I don't know.
I don't know. We'll see.
I hope you guys enjoyed this. Like I said, I enjoyed it. You're the best.
So I opened. Do you want to close?
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Get out of here. This is my time to shine. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
So I don't know when we're gonna be back. We'll probably have another episode when my sister gets some time to get in her groove, and we'll probably talk about all her the things that she's done at Hawaii, and you'll just see me rolling my eyes because
nobody wants to listen to Jasmine. Move on.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna listen to that episode.
Wah wah. Jasmine in Hawaii. What did you do? Stayed at the pool.
Stayed at the pool. I had some spam masubi. We went for food.
It's so good.
It's so good. Whatever.
Okay, so if you guys have any questions for myself or for Thomas, or if you're like, hey, I really enjoyed this subject, I want to hear more about what you have to say, leave a comment either here or on Instagram or wherever your heart desires.
No, I'm already expecting anybody at church who listens to this, they're gonna say, so you like drinking and listening to Jesus? Jesus music. So bad. Such a bad combination, probably.
So yeah, that is going to be it for this episode. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you again for being my co-host.
Thanks for the idea. This was fun.
It was fun.
It was fun.
So now we're going to go pick up the kids, go grocery shopping.
Do parent things, I guess.
And make them put the groceries away. This has been the Sispatch. Who's a better host, Jasmine or Thomas? Jasmine or Thomas?